Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Timmy Kemza James. For our new and old subscribers, you're all welcome to today's tutorial where I show you how to make this really lovely bubu dress or kaftan dress, whatever you may call it. I love this because it's so comfy and it's so chic at the same time. You can both rock it as an easy wear, or you can opt it up with a heel and a nice bag. So without further ado, let's get into the tutorial, guys. And if you end up liking this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. If you're not yet subscribed, don't forget to subscribe, guys, and turn on the post notification so you get notified whenever I have a new video up on the channel. And please, guys, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe. If you're not yet subscribed, it means a lot to me. So let's just dive into it. So guys, I'm going to be using these two contrasting fabrics, and I just love a pop of color on it. You can use the same fabric. I will show you what to do if you're using the same fabric instead of two prints. So I have 1.5 yard of each of these fabrics. So let's just get into drafting. So it's actually a nice silk fabric and it's glossy, mildly glossy and nice. Then the interior is matte. So I'm going to be folding it on the wrong side so that I can place chalk on the wrong side. So let's just get into it. So guys, I'm going to start with one of the fabric. If you're using the same fabric, you would want to just do this on the floor instead of a table, because you might not have enough space to work on the table. So if you're working on one fabric, what you want to do is to just get the entire 3 yards. Now that depends on how wide you want. You can work with 2.5. If you're a small person, you can actually work with 2. Sorry guys, when I was done sewing, I discovered that the 3 yards that I used was way too much for me. So I think 2.5 or even 2 yards would be enough. So that would be you buying either 1.25 of each fabric of each color, or you buy 2.5 yards, or even 2 yards would be fine. Then I would also be making some corrections as the video progresses. So what you want to do is to fold the fabric. Like, now I'm working with this one, as I'm using 2 different colors, so I folded it in half. So I have this side like so, right? I just folded it in half like so. So the first thing you want to do is to get the length of the dress. So I want mine really long, so I'm going to use the entire length of the fabric, which I have 60 inches here. So, and I'm pretty tall, so I'm going to use the entire length of the fabric. Now I'll just go ahead and move this. If you're working with one single fabric, what you want to do is to open up the entire fabric. Then you will fold it like, how will I do that now for you to see? What you want to do is to just open it and fold it like so. So just like the way you would fold your shirt, your pack shirt, so that's how you fold it. But this one I'm working with 2 prints, that's why. So when I fold it in 2 equal parts like so, I'll just move it so I can mark my neck. So from this side where there's an opening, you want to mark your neck depth on that's your neck depth and your neck width there. So I'm going to mark my neck width. So from here I'll just go ahead and mark. So I'll just mark the neck width, which I'm working with 4 inches. You can do 3 inches if you don't want it that wide, or you can do more if you want it more wider than mine. So you do the neck depth. For the neck depth, I'm working with 8 inches. So I'm marking 8 inches. You can do yours shallower or deeper. Now you determine what type of neck you want for your kaftan. So mine, I'm going to do a V-neck. So from here, I'm marking 1 inch inwards. The reason why I'm marking that is for the allowance to join the fabric together. So I'm marking 1 inch from here inwards. Then I'm just going to connect my V-neck like so. or I can just go ahead and do 5 inches instead of 4 inches because of that sewing allowance. So I'll just go ahead and connect my v-neck. If you want a round neck, a square neck, you can just go ahead and do that. So by the time I connect my neck, now I'm just going to go ahead and cut. Now when I'm cutting, I'm not cutting the two together, because this side is going to be on the back, this side will be on the front. So I'm just going to cut this v-neck. Just one of my fabric is what I'm cutting. So just go ahead and cut like so. You can see. So I'll put that out. For the back, I'm just going to cut like 1.5 inch downwards, and I'll just cut it like a round neck. I'm not making a v-neck at the back side, so you can see. I just cut it like this. Now I'll shift my fabric further. Then I'm going to do, you can decide to have your armhole slant or not, your shoulder slant or not, but on this side I'm just sort of coming down from here. I'll just come down by 2.5 inches, then I'll connect it like so for my shoulder slant. If you omit this, it's still fine, it works as well, but I just wanted that little bit of slant on my shoulder. So you can see, when I take this out, I'll now move my fabric. That's why I said it's best to do it on the floor, but I don't have enough space. So I'll just move my fabric and come to the hem side to fix it for you to see. So guys, on the hem side, so at this point, this is the major error point that I made, guys, and I later made the correction and I couldn't film the correction. So on this hem side, you have to go inwards, because I told you that the kaftan was way too big for me, right? So when you get your fabric, which is 2.5 yards or 2 yards, from this hem side you're supposed to go inwards by, let's say, 5 inch. Then you connect to the neckline. Instead of these 15 inches I'm about to show you, go inwards 5 inch. What you want to do is to get a slant from your neck side to the hem side, so that it sort of narrows it down on the hem side. If you understand what I mean, you would want to narrow it down before making this curve on this hem side. So you narrow it down by 5 or 6 inches on that side before making the curve. I hope you understand what I mean. Which is here. I'm going to come up by around 17 inches on the hem. That's because I just want the hem to be sort of curved. So I'll just curve it out. But if you don't want, you can just leave it like that. But I want mine to be curved. So I'm just cutting only one side of it. I'm not cutting the entire thing. So I'll just go ahead and cut this out. So this is what we have at this point. Now I'm just going to go ahead and repeat the same thing on the other material, but this time around I'm going to do it on the opposite direction. You can actually just lie both fabrics right side facing each other and trace off by cutting the exact same thing you did on the blue. You do it the same on the green material as well. I had to lay it like this so you could see, because my table is not big enough to contain the entire thing together. So what I did here, I'm going to do here, is to do the same thing that I have. This is the neckline of this other color. I'm going to do the same thing that I have
on this one, right? So what I will measure what I have here. You remember I used 8 inches for my neck here, so for my neck depth. So I'm going to use 8 inches as well here. Then I'll go in by 1 inch on this side, like so. Then on this side, you remember I used 5 inches, so I'll just do the same 5 inches. Then I'll connect like so to this point, just like I have this one. Then you remember from the side here I marked 2.5 for the shoulder slant, so I'll just do the same like so. You can just lay this on this other one. You just have to make sure of the direction you're laying them on, and just cut out the same thing. But because I want you to get the concept, that's why I have it like this. So I'll just cut this out, then I'll cut the neck, one of the neck as well. Just cut like so. Then what I have on this back side of the neck, I'll just do the same thing. So you can see I have the same thing. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing that I did to the hem side there. I'll just turn this fabric and do the same thing to the green fabric. So when I go to the sewing machine, I'm going to join the back side, then I'll join the shoulder, right? For the shoulder, this is where your sleeve is going to be. So you're not joining the shoulder from here to the closing side. You join it to this point, right? And leave the opening for your sleeve. But before I do that, I'll cut out a facing for all my fabric on the pieces that I have left from the front. I'll cut out the facing for it. So let me just go ahead and do that, then I'll show you how to sew. So guys, this is how it is now. I went ahead to overlock it. Forgive me for using a black thread to overlock a colored stuff. I just didn't have the time to change my thread. So what I'm going to do now is to go ahead and sew the shoulder from here. I will sew up to this point, the shoulder line, to somewhere around here, just where my hands can come out of the shoulder. And then I'll do the same thing to the other side. When I'm done, I'll join the back side here and close it. Then I close the front as well. So I'm going to start by closing the shoulder line. So when I get to here, I will stop, because that's where my hands will come out from. It's still going to be coming out from the shoulder. So just use around half of an inch to close it. So when I'm 5 inch closer to the end side, I'll just stop sewing. So I'll just measure 5 inches like so, and I'll just sew up to that 5 inch point and stop. I'll back stitch from there. Then I'll do the same thing to the other one. You can see I'll do the same thing to the other one. So now I'm going to join the back neckline of this color and the back neckline of the other color, like so. Then I'll sew to the hem. So I left 1 inch sewing allowance, if you remember when we're sewing. So that's what I'm going to use. So at this point, if you want the hem narrower, you can just taper it in. But I sort of want my hem wider than the usual one. So please forgive me for using black thread. So I'm sewing right side, matching right side. So by the time I'm done, I'm going to close the front side. I'll just flip to the front side and close off the front neckline, matching each other. So you remember we left 1 inch. You must not leave 1 inch sewing allowance, guys. You can just work with any sewing allowance of your choice. So I'm just matching the front sewing allowance, and I'm going to sew straight down. That's from the v-neck side. Don't forget, I'm still sewing on the wrong side, which I have the right side matching each other. So I'll just sew to the end as well, then I'll show you what it looks like before we proceed to hem.
So this is it, guys. I just went ahead to hem the neckline. I didn't end up using a facing for the neckline any longer because of the amendment that I did. So I just hemmed the sleeve as well as the bottom, and this is it. The dress came out so lovely, guys. I had to turn off the light and just use my phone light because it wasn't giving me justice for the dress. So I feel like this one was a lot better. So at least you could see crystal clear how the dress turned out. You can see the side, it does not have a seam, and it was so beautiful. I was impressed, guys. So I would love to see your recreations. If you do recreate these, don't forget to tag me, Timmy James, on Instagram. I would love to see all your recreations and the colors of fabric that you ended up using. So until then, see you in my next tutorial, guys. I love you. Do have a pleasant week. Bye.